We've officially got our first ever double Minecraft Live year, and it was another great one. Finding out that the Copper Age drop is going to be coming out on the 30th of September, literally 2 days away. If you didn't see my video playing with these guys, well, go check that out. But the thing that we really care about, new announcements, specifically the Nautilus and the Spear. So let's deep dive. Did you get it? Because the ocean got updated. Let's deep dive into everything that they talked about and some of the stuff that they didn't talk about that I managed to get some secret intel on. Let's start straight away with the Nautilus. We now finally have a reason for these things existing, which I guess that would imply the death of Nautilus, which I love the fact that these guys will then go and pick them up. But back to the actual mob itself, the Nautilus, if you tame it with some pufferfish, you'll then be able to put a saddle on it and ride it underwater. Based on the way that they were describing it as being lucky to find one, they're probably going to be quite rare, which honestly, I hope that they are. Now, when you do ride them, it's basically going to be an underwater version of the Happy Ghast. But unlike the Happy Ghast, the Nautilus is going to give you the brand new Nautilus effect, which is essentially just going to pause these bubbles. In other words, it's infinite water breathing. No idea why they didn't just decide to give us water breathing and give us a whole new effect, but they did. I actually really like that you tame them with pufferfish, because in case you don't know, if you want to brew water breathing, first you use nether wart, which makes an awkward potion, I think. Yeah, an awkward potion. Then you use a pufferfish, and that's how you're going to make a potion of water breathing. So now pufferfish aren't always going to just be left over, because let's be honest, how often are you needing to make water breathing potions? So if you do a lot of fishing, you're just going to have a whole bunch of these guys left over. But now, they're going to be the key to breathing underwater in general. Now here's my first little bit of info that they didn't tell you in Minecraft Live. Some creators like myself basically got given like a press kit. We basically got a bunch of different images that they didn't show in Minecraft Live. And one of those was this image, which was called Nautilus chasing pufferfish. And when its little tentacles are up like this, I think this means it's in chase mode, and they're gonna hunt pufferfish, which was something they didn't even mention in Minecraft Live. So if you are struggling to find any Nautilus, keep your eyes peeled for pufferfish that are rising to the top, because that probably means a Nautilus has killed one nearby. The fact that Nautilus do this is something that Minecraft actually tried to do that I love, and I think people need to appreciate it way more. They want to show like almost a self-sustaining ecosystem, except it's not an ecosystem at all. It's much more they want to show that the world is like moving without you. Like everything in Minecraft is very still. But if I start building a little cabin in the woods, the world has changed, but it's only because I did it. But the world around you can still change even if you're not manipulating it. Like this fox. Oh, well, good luck, bunny. Wow, you're really eyeing up your target there, aren't you? You gonna go for it? What's... There we go. All these guardians, they are not fans of squids and are going to instantly attack them and kill them, which is a little bit brutal, but it just gives the game its own life. I really like it. And Nautilus killing pufferfish, well, that's going to add a little bit more of that. Oh, but I did see a complaint about this. More the fact that you feed them pufferfish. Some people on Twitter pointed out that, well, Nautilus in real life don't eat pufferfish. Much like how parrots in real life can't eat cookies, or frogs can't eat fireflies like they're originally meant to. But here's my opinion on this specific case. If someone somehow manages to feed this real-life, quite rare deep-sea creature a real-life pufferfish, honestly, respect to them for seeing that through. Basically, what I'm saying is that isn't going to be an issue in real life, guys. Do not worry. Speaking of feeding them pufferfish, if you feed 2 Nautilus pufferfish, they're gonna breed, and you're gonna get a baby Nautilus. And oh my goodness, I don't know why they didn't show off the baby Nautilus more in Minecraft Live, because oh my goodness, this could be the new cutest mob in Minecraft. Look how tiny he is. This is it next to a coral reef. It's like not even half a block big. Once this releases, people are gonna love this thing. I mean, this is about the size of a tropical fish, and these things are tiny, tiny. What's not the size of a tropical fish, though, is the zombie Nautilus. Once again, here are some better quality photos of it, and oh my goodness, the eye? This is one of the coolest looking mobs, like, in the game, right? The thing is, I don't think we're gonna be able to ride this, because based off one of the teasers, it said slain by something, which looks like it would be Nautilus, which honestly is a bit annoying, because this is a really cool variant. It would have been pretty cool if we could ride it like the skeleton horse, but I don't think that's going to be a possibility. It's just going to be a very fast mob that's going to chase you underwater. That's not scary at all. To make it even scarier, the drowned is going to frequently spawn on top of it. Now, these guys you can normally outswim quite easy. When they're going to be on what looks like quite a fast mob, yeah, the ocean's about to get a lot more dangerous. Not to mention, yeah, drowns can spawn with tridents, one of the most OP weapons in the game. Lucky for us, though, Mojang made it rare for them to spawn with a trident on a zombie Nautilus. Except that's a complete lie. die. Yet, they made it more commonly spawn with tridents. So not only are they going to catch up to you way easier now, but the guy on top is just commonly going to have a shotgun too. However, one of my initial thoughts is we potentially have a more reasonable way of getting a trident farm now. At the very least, drowned spawning with tridents should be a lot more common, which from a trident hunting perspective, that's going to be really nice. Anyway, back to the non-zombie variant. They're also going to have armor that you can craft, and they're going to be able to have any variant of shell, including netherite shells, which is actually really interesting because they didn't release a netherite horse armor. Maybe if they're giving it to the Nautilus, they might give it to the horse as well. Guess we're going to have to wait and find out. The only thing we don't really have any info on is how they're going to move. We do know that they're going to move exactly like the Happy Ghast. The way that works is you just hold W and look wherever you want to go. The Nautilus is going to work like this, but we don't know how fast it's going to go. If they suggested it as a boat alternative, it's going to have to go at least this fast. But are they going to make it any faster than this? They are going to be taking a property from the camel, though. The camel does like kind of a jump dash forward. You'll be able to dash on the Nautilus as well. And this could make the camel a decent bit faster. So if the Nautilus is the same speed as a boat, it should at least be able to dash a little bit ahead of it. Anyway, that's enough of the Nautilus. Onto the new weapon, the spear. It's going to be crafted like a shovel, but just diagonal. And it's going to be the first tiered weapon since, well, ever, really? I guess since the addition of netherite. From what I've seen so far, this new weapon is going to change Minecraft PvP forever. Firstly, you will be able to use it like a normal weapon, specifically known as a jab attack. Now, what I hope jab attack means is when you jab it forward, you could maybe have, say, a block extra reach. Something like that alone would instantly make Minecraft PvP more of like a strategy-based thing. Because in current PvP, if someone's better than you at PvP, well, you can't do too much to counter it. They just win. GG. But if there was a weapon that did less damage but had an extra block of reach, well, you can now counteract them being better than you. And even at the highest tier, you can choose if you want to use a spear or a sword. Everything becomes a strategy like a board game. There is going to be one other feature, though, of the spear, which is going to change how Minecraft PvP works. Holding down, assumingly, right-click or left trigger on a controller, you're going to be able to hold the spear to your side, and instead of having to get the distance exactly correct to be able to land the hit, whenever you come into contact with your target, that's when it'll do damage. But even better than that, the faster you move, the more damage it's going to deal. Kind of a bit like the mace. But instead of being based on how many blocks you fall, the damage is going to be multiplied based on how fast you're moving. We don't know how much damage you're going to do with this quite yet, but based on what we do know, if someone's in full copper armor and they get hit with an iron spear from horse speed, that's going to do 6.5 hearts of damage. Imagine what that spear is going to be like when it's netherite and enchanted. They also showed that a netherite spear on ice boats against full netherite armor will one-shot them. That's insane. They're also meant to do a lot of knockback and dismount you when you're riding something. That's if you hit your target before the cooldown ends. Basically, after a while of holding your spear, it's going to start shaking or spinning, kind of like a way of, oh, this is heavy and awkward to hold. So you need to reset your grip before being able to do that again. But this is where it gets really interesting. Along with this mechanic, for the first time in Minecraft, they're actually going to nerf the weapon the higher tier it is. Once you reach its cooldown and you have to lift it back up, the higher tier it is, the longer it's going to take to lift it back up. So if you want to use a netherite one, yeah, that's going to do the most damage, but it's going to take the longest to reset. So it then becomes a high risk, high reward, which is amazing and a great way of balancing. With axes in Minecraft, it works the opposite way. Maybe they could balance the axes though. Make it so this is the speed of a wooden axe and this is the speed of a netherite axe. It just allows so many different techniques. I love the idea of it. But what is this spear going to mean for Minecraft PvP? Well, we're about to have a whole lot of new styles of Minecraft PvP unlocked that might be able to counter other types of PvP like sword PvP, which will essentially change Minecraft PvP to be very strategy based, where you'll use different types in different situations. A bit like games like Valorant, where you might choose a different character based on what your opponent is playing, so you can counter them, which is going to make things a whole lot more interesting. The speed aspect? Well, that's going to see a lot of people breeding for the perfect horse even more, and rather than running, it might be worth your while doing PvP on a horse, which makes horse jousting a viable combat style for the first time since the 17th century? What I'm really interested for, though, is how the PvP community are going to find ways to abuse this weapon. It'll be like what happened with the mace, where people figured out that you could use a wind charge to get higher to deal more damage. That then turned into elytra macing. Okay, I can't do that one. I think something very similar is going to happen to that. This time, you're going to have to figure out how to get lots of speed. How are we going to do that? I mean, riding on a horse is going to be the easiest way to do this. Flying with an elytra for sneak attacks, that's going to be perfect. But there's one option that might be insane. A Riptide 3 Trident. Either you're fighting someone someone in the ocean, it raining, or just a water bucket on your feet. That's going to be how people are getting speed. The only issue is, well, to throw a trident, it's probably going to be the same as lowering the spear. Just pretend this arrow is a spear for a second, though. If I slow down the tick speed real quick, just to make everything slow-mo, in theory, with enough practice, you should be able to throw your Riptide Trident, release, instantly switch to your spear, lower it, and then hit your target. If you want to practice this ready, you could do it with a normal trident, and that would look something like this. Wait, did I hit something? Wait, what? Anyway, yeah, this is how you can practice this ready. It's actually quite fun. I have no clue if this is going to work, but in theory, this would be the best way to deal damage with the spear. Or there's a minecart trick. I think it's like you place multiple minecarts on the same block, then get in it, it gets more momentum. Yeah, this seems right. I think the other minecarts push each other. That could potentially work too, but it'll be a very specific setup. Where in standard PvP, that's not really going to be viable. Players won't be the only ones using the spears, though. The zombie can also spawn with a spear as one of its potential weapons. But that's not the exciting part. Those zombies are going to be spawning on zombie horses in survival, meaning for the first ever time, you are going to be able to find the zombie horse in survival Minecraft. How long would you guess this thing's been in the game? Since Minecraft 1.6.1, but it's never had any way of spawning naturally. Maybe Mojang wants to clear out that unused mob closet a bit. All they would need to add to clear that out completely would be the giant, which, let's be honest, this isn't coming to survival Minecraft, and the illusioner, which definitely could come to the game. This thing, for some reason, has its own sounds and textures. It works, and it even has its own attacks. Oh my goodness. Like, why is this not in the raids? Who's real? Is it you? No? This guy. No. Who's... Huh? None of them are real? Oh, he's invis. This mob's so cool. I would love it in survival mode. Maybe they just thought it would be too hard, though, or something. Now, about when this update is going to release. Not until later this year, but it is nearly October, so that's actually not that bad. Plus, we're getting an update on the 30th anyway, so it's not like we're really going to have that big of a drought. Snapshots, though, will be much earlier than that. Coming soon, in Mojang's words, which normally means about 2 to 3 weeks, which will probably line up for a full release as a holiday drop. Most likely with a few extra things as well. For now, though, we have to wait and subscribe to the channel for it to release. Yeah, Mojang contacted me directly. They just simply can't release it without a steady stream of subscribers to highkeyhateme. Whatever will we do?